The crowd goes wild. Not for me. No, 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 ladies and gentlemen, not for me. The crowd goes wild because we have a very special guest tonight. His name's Eric. It's not the Eric that you might be thinking of. The Eric that you might be thinking of is actually stuck in the North Pole. He does have access to this particular broadcast, so he can pop in at any time. It's possible, but I know he's been Santa has had him working long days and nights, so he may or may not pop in an elf outfit. But I do want to just say really quick, this is the Bad Boys of Pop. I'm your host, Tommy Mack, and it's Monday. And on Mondays we do, as you know, have you heard the news in the form of 7 questions. I'm not going to do the song because it would be sacrilegious without Eric Stretch here. So if you know the song, you know. If you don't, go back to thebadboysofpop.com and just have a listen to the last episode or any of the last 71 episodes and you'll get the idea. Anyway, at this point in time, I want to bring in my good buddy, Eric, and I call him Carpaccio, but it's Cacciopo?
Yeah, Cacciopo.
That makes me feel like I should have a sauce on the stove right now.
We should, yeah, always.
And,
always.
You know, who knows? I might have one on there. You don't know.
What's going on, dude? How you doing?
I'm good. In fact, I've got some I've got some bits of some filet mignon. I got some bits of some New York strip that I've seasoned, marinated, and I might just let that boil for a little bit tonight. Okay. Soften it up for tomorrow. Add a little ground beef. Throw a little bit of some leftover smoked pork in there.
All right.
And really get a nice bolognese. Did I say that right? Bolognese.
Oh, you did. Yeah, it was good. Bolognese works.
I watch a lot of Criminal Minds.
Okay. They say bolognese a lot in Criminal Minds.
Well, you know, there's the Joe Mantegna character, Mantegna, and
good old Chicago boy.
He often cooks for the crew. So,
gotcha.
Really quick, big shout out to Anne Marie for saying hello there. I see you. How you doing, Anne Marie? And Melinda, look, you're getting a shout out from Melinda, who doesn't even know you, I don't think.
Oh, hello, Melinda. I know Melinda. She's old Dimples regular.
She's definitely used to saying, "Hey, Eric." That's for sure.
Yeah. No, but Melinda, if I'm thinking of the right Melinda, she used to hang out at Dimples.
There are lots of Melindas.
Yeah.
So there's no way we can know. And watch this, Eric. I'm just going to pop us into this sweet Bad Boys of Pop box. How about that?
Yeah. Nice, dude.
That's even more comfy. And oh, look at that. Look at that. Yes, that's correct. There she is.
Mm-hmm.
Dimples.
I
stand corrected. It's gonna be one of those episodes, bro.
It's a late night. Well, not late, but we're old now, so it's late for us now.
And let me just say, so just to recap on what's happening with the Bad Boys of Pop. Eric Stretch is currently in the North Pole. The North Pole, for those of you watching the video, I was doing air quotes. He's shooting a Nickelodeon show called Top Elf. So we've been getting along without him as best we could. And we had some folks from DraftKings, some sports peeps from the Boston area come on, some really amazing guys. Adam Kaufman and Jason Rossi hopped on with us for last week's Thursday episode. But the really cool thing is that Eric Carpaccio, he's an old buddy of mine. Dude, how long have we known each other now? What do you think?
Okay, so I feel like
it's got to be
like 05, maybe 04.
Way before that.
Well, I didn't move into LA until 2003. So
because I was going into Dimples.
Yeah, I mean, I was going into Dimples around 2003, but I think I started working there in 05.
And I didn't work
give
there
or take 6 months from that. You know what I mean? Like,
let's call it a good 15.
Yeah,
we'll call it a good 15.
Yeah.
And he and I have seen lots of similar things, experienced lots of similar experiences. he was in a boy band called Coldplay, and
Oh, those good old Coldplay days, man.
yeah,
Those were fun
life
days.
will guide you home.
Yeah, I mean,
How did you hit those high notes, Eric? I just want to know.
I would have an intern just kick me in the nuts, and then you naturally just go at the high.
There you go.
Yeah.
Before we get into the trivia portion, because okay, you hit me up a couple of days ago and said, "Look, Tommy." Or actually, you didn't even hit me up directly.
Yeah.
And by the way, is your computer audio on? And if it is, can you turn it? No,
maybe it's touch.
Yeah.
How was that? Yeah, maybe it was a touch.
Yeah, way better. So you hit me up and you were just saying you were looking for somebody in the service industry, and I was like, well, I'm not in the service industry, but I want to help you out in your time of need.
But you were, though. That's the thing.
I was.
Yeah.
I was currently not at this point, but I was. Yeah. and I think that we really dove in pretty deep into that, and we uncovered some pretty sweet little gems and some awesome situations, and just really dug into the whole dichotomy of server versus served, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, especially coming from the fact, like, I think what we touched up on. So, I mean, just, I don't know if you said it yet, but I have a podcast myself. And Tommy was helped me out in a pinch, and came on very last minute on my show that it went live today. It's a Sunday night, which is technically Monday morning East Coast time, so it goes live today. And what we talked about was kind of the notion of like going from being a patron of a bar to then working at that bar, and then kind of like, how does that work when within your social circle and with your friends, and also just kind of the overall notion of the stigma that some people had back in the day, where it was like, oh, you're in between real jobs and you're just working at this bar. And we kind of touched upon those things.
Just to clarify, so it's cornerpodcast.com. Is that right?
That's the website, cornerpodcast.com. Okay. And so then it's
scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now.
That is correct. Cornerpodcast.com.
Okay. So tell us more about that.
So it's a service industry based podcast. It started because of the pandemic. My goal of it is it's called Corner Memoirs of the Service Industry is its full title. And I want it to be that, a memoir of the time, that a collection of stories of people who worked in the service industry for the past, 20, 30 years, because I think that COVID has fundamentally changed the way that we will forever do this job and be part of this industry. It hasn't crippled the industry and isn't going to change it fundamentally in a bad way. It's just that there are things that we did and there's ways we operated for so long that it's going to be difficult in a post-COVID world to continue to do. And that's like small little detail stuff, but I wanted to kind of document the life of those who worked within the industry, and share some fun stories about what it was like. And you and I worked together at Dimples Karaoke. Right, yeah. And, and I love that you hit me up, because you do have a very unique point of view, because it was kind of like we're off the heels of, No Authority. Then you started working there. It was kind of like, was it the first one? I don't think I asked you. That was the first main gig after,
Yeah. Eric, that was the very first real job that I had coming out of standing on stage in front of 30 to 35,000 people on a nightly basis. I went to standing behind a bar and then getting on stage a few times a night in front of about 30 to 100 people.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, why, like, I know you said you aren't in the service industry, but the whole idea of the show is to collect those stories. That is a wonderful story and point of view to have about, like, that change in perspective.
And it's sorry, by the way, I've had Melinda's comment stuck up there for a while. But if you're watching and you either worked with Eric or with me, or went to Dimples while Eric opens up his beer, feel free to hop in, throw in a little story, throw in a little comment, and definitely if you're watching, share it, tag some people, start a little watch party, tag some of your friends that may have gone to Dimples over in Burbank, California, because we're going to be on here tonight for about 3 hours. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Eric.
It's fine. I ain't got nothing to do.
We'll be on for likely about 35 minutes for the trivia. And then, if we run a little longer than that, then I mean, we'll see how it goes. If a lot of Dimples folks pop in, we might
go all night.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
If it's one thing that Dimples folks do is we go all night. Like we would just run to like the wee hours of the morning.
I want that T-shirt. If there's Dimples, we go all night. Now Sal should have had those made. Dimples, we go all night instead of the stay hard, stay over, stay blah blah blah, stay
with a weird newspaper print on the back, and
just like Dimples, we go all night. Yeah. That would have been like, that's simplified, right?
Anyway, I think I have those shirts still, the old ones.
I think I probably have some dirty ones in a box somewhere. Anyway, let's get into the fun aspect of this, and feel free to play along from home, you guys. I tasked Eric with the wonderful quest of being the quiz master on this episode, and instead of it being current entertainment news, or instead of it being do you know this crap, it's going to be Dimples trivia. So let's dig right into this, and we'll start with question number one. If you guys know this, like I said, feel free to post your answers in the comment section, and we'll be sure to share it if you're right. If you're wrong, we'll be sure to share that too, to shame you. So here we go.
All right. So
question. Hold on. This is what I do.
Okay.
Question number one.
All right.
That's just how it goes.
So seeing that you were a bar back at Dimples and you worked a couple happy hours in your time, name 3 of the hardcore happy hour regulars at Dimples Karaoke in Burbank, California.
First of all, let me correct you. Bar back and then bartender. But
you still work happy hour.
I digress. So Chappie, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go Chappie. You got Dick, who would cruise in.
Yeah, but he wasn't a happy hour guy. Specifically happy hour. Those guys who were around 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Okay, you got Richard, who has left us. He was always a really, really sweet fella. Richard actually gave me some acting lessons at one point.
Oh, yeah?
He offered his time to do that, and really nice guy. Some more happy hour peeps. I mean, Dick could be included in that.
Okay, I'll give you Dick. So that's the.
Okay, who were you thinking? Like what would you have accepted?
So we already mentioned him. Lewitt.
Oh, of course, Lou.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just me on the screen. Awesome. It's my show now.
Yeah. I'm giving it to you right now because
okay.
Of course, Lou.
So Lou.
Yeah.
I was thinking my personal favorite was Hippie Dennis.
Sorry, you're gone.
Okay.
Yeah, Lou, of course, because he would actually come in and he'd leave before stuff got busy.
Yeah.
I mean, Lou, no, we need to talk about this show. Lou and I did a show together that he was directing, producing, filming, everything but starring in, basically. And he was most certainly a happier guy. So yeah. Sorry. Back to the Eric show. Sorry.
Awesome. I was thinking Hippie Dennis. He was like the long haired. He was like straight out of like 1960 Central Casting.
Oh yes.
And then John Oliver. The old black guy that used to come in all the time. And who was the other one I was thinking? Oh, and Kevin, the guy that lived behind Dimples in a trailer. Kevin, who came in every hour. That was who I was thinking about.
But I still got it.
You still got 3. They were definitely regulars.
I got the 3 I needed. Okay.
And I forgot about Chappie. Like Chappie was awesome.
Of course, Chappie is in there. Yeah. Natanya Ross, sister. Eric, do you remember Natanya Ross?
Not off that photograph that's attached to her profile.
Yeah, it's very tough. That's a tough photograph. Do you remember the show The Secret World of Alex Mack?
Yes.
Do you remember the redheaded friend?
Not really, but I do remember the show.
Well, then
enough.
you never watched The Secret World
I
of
mean,
Alex.
she turned into ooze. Of course, I watched the show. I mean, I just don't. I was a teenager, early a preteen, I guess.
No, Tanya. Let's give him some more hints. Throw some more Secret World of Alex Mack hints into the chat there so I can throw those at Eric. But in the meantime, I'm 1 for 1. And by the
All
way,
right.
Eric, what am I playing for tonight?
Okay. Here's a fun one. You are playing for the answer to the last question.
What?
Yeah. So the last question,
Yeah.
you can think about it, is a prop-based question. It's about one of the props on the Dimples karaoke stage. And if you get all 7 right, you get to take home said prop that is the answer to the 7th question.
I actually get the prop.
You get the prop.
From the world famous Dimples.
World famous Dimples. I
I
stole this on the last night. Kim doesn't even know I did it, but I stole this. I have it in my possession.
Okay. All right. Well, that's exciting. I'm very interested in having that. I'll put it up in the studio. Don't you tempt. I'll hang it right there behind me. Don't
you have to get all 7 correct.
No. No, I don't.
I don't know what the rules are.
I just have to get 4.
Okay.
You get 4, you win.
All right.
If I get all 7, I get the thing, and it has to be signed. It has to be. We have to find Sal and have him sign it.
Okay.
If I get all 7.
All right.
Also, really quick, couple more hints. So Natanya played Robin Russo in The Secret World of Alex Mack, and on top of that, she also briefly worked at Dimples.
Okay.
Like just for a split second.
Yeah.
Alex Mack was like, "Look, Robin, my magic can't pay your bills right now. So, I can't fart and heal the city. I can't turn ooze into cash, but what I can do is talk to Sal." And apparently Alex Mack knew Sal. So she's like, "Sal, look, just give Robin a few shifts, let her get her thing going, and
a couple cocktail shifts, and see where things go."
And then Natan's hopped in and was like, "Yeah, I got this, baby. Let's do it." Anyway, let's move on to question number 2.
All right, this one should be a relatively easy one for you. What did Sal call a group of girls that he called up to sing karaoke?
Wait, to who? To whom?
What? What did he refer to a group of girls that he wanted to come up and sing karaoke?
This isn't fair. A group of girls?
Yeah. So, like, say it's Alex Mack's best friend over here's birthday, and she comes with a bunch of friends.
Oh, you're killing me. Right. Oh, right. Not like what he would say. Hey, let's get the girls up. What he would call them. Would they be announced by?
Yes.
Before they sang?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, I thought this was a softball, dude. The fact that you're blanking on it.
Eric, it's been so long. The Pussycats?
Yes, there we go.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
It'd be like, Robin and the Pussycats. That's what he would refer to them as.
That was literally, I was about to give up, and I just pulled that out of the left side of my butt cheek. So,
Yeah, the old charmer Sal was.
The it's Eric and the Pussycats.
Yeah, seriously.
Awesome. I'm 2 for 2.
There we go.
I am 2 for 2, kicking some butt. Are there any Dimples people in the chat that want to say hey? Just want to Natanya pops in from, she was more a patron than a participator as far as, working there. But here's a quick little we appreciate the well wishes for the fires. We don't get a lot of rain here, but rain would be nice. Brand, did you see the new cloud? I say clouds. Did you see the new
right by us.
mushroom clouds popping over Mount Wilson today.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
I did, and I went for a walk tonight, and you could see just like it's weird because it's it's foggy out a little bit, and there's like a handful of lights on that top of that ridge, so they feel weird already, and then you see this glowing red embers coming from behind it. It was weird.
Well, what those lights are? I mean, that's Mount Wilson. That's where
it's radio towers and stuff, but it's just
AM, FM, emergency
Mhm.
broadcast. Like there's so much.
It just looks eerie at night because there's nothing else on that hill. So it's like darkness and then just a couple of lights hanging in the sky.
So much expensive equipment up there.
Yeah.
And then the observatory, which most people don't even know exists, is up there. Like all kinds of good stuff. Anyway, 2 for 2. Let's move on. Let's move on to question number 3.
All right. What was Dimples named after?
Dimples. So let me go into the history here because I know this. Let me give myself a full screen. I never do this. I never give myself full screen, but let me do this. Sal Ferreira. He was a king among kings. Let me just say he was a forward thinker. He ran a travel agency. He had a few different spots. He had the now Voyager as a spot. He had a few different areas that he was dipping his toes into. But he found himself overseas. He saw the karaoke over there in was it Japan? Eric, is that right?
That's correct.
And he was like, you know what? The people in the USA would really like this. I'm going to bring this back, babe. And so he brought it back. And then, he took that over. He created Dimples right there in the heart of beautiful downtown Burbank. And it became the very first karaoke bar opened up in the entire United States back in 1983, 7 days a week. And it was named for Shirley Temple. I mean, wait, sorry, I said that wrong. I said Shirley Temple. Look at me. How silly am I? How silly is that? Wait a minute. Isn't that right? Isn't that the actress? Isn't it? I say Shirley Temple. That's the little sweet drink.
Okay, so you're half right.
Okay, tell me the rest.
It's named after a Shirley Temple movie by the name of Dimples.
Right, but it's named for.
No, it's named after the movie. Shirley. So yes, Shirley Temple was that young girl actress from
because she had the
40s and she starred in a movie that was just called Dimples, and that's what Sal named the bar after. Was that movie?
And if you looked around the bar,
a lot of Shirley Temple.
A lot of Shirley, a lot of Marilyn, a lot of Elvis, a lot of
Judy Garland,
this and that. There's a thing that's going to be up for a prize. I'm not sure what it is. If it's the Elvis, dude, I have to win this. I've just got to tell you.
Side note, it's not the Elvis, but side note, I saw some YouTube clip where somebody took that said, it was a singing mannequin. It was just like a bust of Elvis that sings. And this guy surgically removed the latex Elvis face and then just wore it as a mask. And it was really creepy. It's my fun story for the evening.
That is terrifying. And just looking at your name, I think I might have spelled your name incorrectly in the description on the episode. So I apologize. But
that's fine. It happens. It's it's Italian name. It's it's not as
Now the cacio, isn't that it's like a seafood stew?
No, that's
there's something. It's like a seafood, an Italian seafood stew.
What the hell is that? It's not my last name by any stretch of the imagination. It's
it certainly is. It most definitely is something like that.
I'm blanking on it at the moment.
Okay,
it'll come to me in like 5 minutes.
Okay, if you guys are listening, if you're listening,
Chipino. It's Chipino.
That's pretty close.
There's no N in my name.
You're not missing very many letters, is all I'm saying.
I'm missing an N. Chipino.
Yeah.
There's no N in my name.
Were you ever in the talented and gifted classes in your high school or
I
elementary?
wasn't. In art. Yeah, in my art class, I was.
Because there were little little trivia like the anagrams and the different. So yeah, you're missing you're almost there.
Okay.
Your last name is almost a seafood stew. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay, 3 for 3. Let's move on.
All right.
Question number 4.
All right. So I'm gonna say this. I'm not looking for the Hollywood sign, but name 2 things that were on the roof of Dimples.
Okay. Do I have options or do I just have to guess without any
No,
options?
you have to guess. You worked there. You should know what was on the roof.
Well, I know Marilyn was there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I mean Elvis was around a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I saw an Elvis up there. Sinatra?
No Sinatra. I mean, okay. First off, yes, you were right. Elvis and Marilyn were on the roof, but I was hoping you would get across to the fact that there was a giant screen on the roof. Because
showing the because there
feed.
was the Hollywood side, but then showing what was happening inside.
Yeah,
obviously
that was my favorite part about the fact. So, like for those who don't know, Dimples had a giant, I'd say 30-foot screen. I mean, it was like 20-foot screen. It was this big projection screen on the roof.
Before the Dallas Cowboys had their big screen in the stadium.
It was like the biggest screen on the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
It was it would just broadcast what the people singing on the inside, and so you would drive by Dimples and you'd see all these people on stage singing, having a great time, and in hopes you'd stop and come on in. Yeah, it was my favorite. One of my favorite parts of the early days is having to walk up that roof that you felt like you were going to fall through at any minute. Just turn off the projector every night.
And tell me I'm wrong, but I feel like from time to time Sal would just put Britney on the screen just to lure people.
Oh yeah,
people to come in
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean that was the allure of Dimples, was the fact that you could see a celebrity at any given moment.
Yeah,
and that the whole crap he sold was you could be discovered at any moment because we're so close to all the record companies and television studios right there in Burbank.
And in fact, I believe Thomas Gibson from Criminal Minds, I believe him being on that projector led to him being fired from Criminal Minds.
Okay. I mean, I can't speak to that, but that would suck if that's the case.
I totally just made that up. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Not true at all.
All right.
Completely fabricated. Okay.
So, 4 for 4.
So am I good? 4 for 4. Okay. I'm getting really excited. I've got a couple of spots. I don't want to crowd my gold record over here, but I can definitely fit in a little bit of paraphernalia if you've got the paraphernalia to give. So,
all right.
Let's see. I'm sweating now. Question number 5.
All right. Our good friend, Dennis Haskins, Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell. This was his Cheers. This was the bar he came in all the time at, Dimples Karaoke. Good friend of both of ours. He was actually at my wedding. He came into my wedding, which was awesome.
Did he just pop? Did he just show up?
No, I invited him and he came.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
He heard there was karaoke and he's like, yeah,
I'd be there. Okay. So that being said, Dennis Haskins, Saved by the Bell. Love singing karaoke. What was Dennis's go-to karaoke song?
Okay. I know it's one of two. And I'm not certain that you can definitively say that it's one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with the first thing that comes to mind is School's Out for Summer.
There we go. That's what we were looking for. But all right, that was the one I was looking for. But what was the second one?
Yeah. If I get the second one right, it's bonus points.
Bonus points.
You may be right, I may be crazy.
That was a good one.
That was
I
another
also
favorite
would
of
have
his.
accepted "That's Life," but from Frank Sinatra. He sang that a lot too. But yes.
Apparently it wasn't very memorable because I don't recall him doing that often.
But to be fair, the reason why Billy Joel is not the right answer is because he sang that with Eddie only. He never sang that on his own. He only sang that with Eddie, the karaoke host, Eddie Driscoll.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay. And you know what? I should have asked you to bring in some videos because we could have full screened some
Oh,
bits
you
and
know what?
pieces.
Like if we had some more time, we should do this again because I have DVDs like somewhere in my garage right now.
I know you got all the things. So
I have like a bunch of photos and I have stuff. We could get some craziness going on, some watching old videos.
and earlier tonight we saw some of our old Dimple friends popping in about the episode that you and I just did on Corner, saying, talking about certain things. And I'm hoping that some of those certain things are part of the questions or
they're not. They're not.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out some like, just basic, Dimples, trivia. Yeah. I wasn't trying to get too like particular and like specific. I wanted to be a little broad for the audience.
So Eric, let's briefly talk about blowjob shots. What does that mean to you?
Blowjob shots mean somebody's birthday. That's what that means to me, and a good dose of misogyny on the side,
and a good dose of celebrate good time. Come on.
So
yes, sorry,
no,
we both
answered my question already. I have a question. One of the questions I was going to ask, but I couldn't think of the answer. Is what the fuck was the other song, like the raunchy song that we played for birthdays?
Well, that wasn't what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, when there was a birthday, you had to have a complete tray full of champagne glasses.
And the mum's champagne, which is the fucking worst.
Mum is the word. And I believe it was 15 glasses you had to jam in there.
Yeah.
And occasionally you had to like figure out how to like squish, like just you had to essentially defy geometry to make that work. But we did it. And I'm not sure what you're saying there's a more vulgar.
So I know I there was a song. So we played Happy Birthday and the big drum roll would hit. And that was like, that was kind of everyone's smoke break because everything shut down. Nobody gave a shit. Everyone watched the show of this birthday party being humiliated.
Right.
So the drum roll would hit. It would be Happy Birthday, blah, blah, blah. But then there was another song that played after that, which was like, had like you fucking jerk, you get on my nerves or something like that. I couldn't think of it earlier. Not the celebration, because celebration was for like a non-birthday special event, like a group, like if like 20 people showed up, he would just play celebration for the hell.
You know what? I think I hated that song so much.
They just blocked it out.
I blocked it out, and apparently you did too.
I just forget it. I just remember you fucking jerk. You get on my nerves.
Get on my nerves.
That's all I remember. But I just don't.
It's like a weird like country-esque kind of hillbilly, like get on my nerves.
It's like one of those things that you remember.
Get out the way. It was like
your youth, and you just can't like it was. So okay, this is a little aside, but I went to a summer camp, and one of the songs we played that was like a copy of a tape, and the tape that got around was this weird comedy troupe doing a song called Star Trekking. And it's like Star Trekking across the universe. I won't go into it, but it's like this weird song about Star Trek. And it's like, and it goes in a round, and eventually everyone loses their mind and they're in space and becomes like a little like operatic. It's a weird song. But if you just go Star Trekking across the universe, you'll find it on YouTube like that. But I went maybe.
What kind of camp was this?
It was this like a sleepaway camp in the fucking Poconos. But I went like 10 years.
Who went to that?
I went to it. It was just a summer camp, bro.
Was it just you and you were just had a bunch of
having a fever dream, dude? It was me and a fever dream in the middle of the woods.
That's
awesome.
kind
of why I don't go in the woods anymore. But But anyways, I went for like 10 years, like not.
We had to face your fears. We had to set up a camping trip to face those fears. Just saying.
I believe that there's only three things that happen in the woods: bears, witches, and aliens. There's nothing good that comes out of going in the woods.
Well, I mean, settlers would disagree.
Well, they're all dead now, right? They all got eaten by bears,
no,
or abducted by aliens, or in a witchcraft ritual or something.
I don't agree with that. I mean, but okay, fine, whatever. Like it would be Bear Angeles instead of Los Angeles, because the bears,
all the bears would have taken over.
But the
thing is Los Angeles was never woods. It was like orchards and stuff. It's not like
there were lots of orange.
It's like just like look at Roanoke. Roanoke is a town that disappeared off the fucking. Nobody knows what happened. All the
That's
people.
A very interesting story. But if people haven't actually researched that, they should go and have a listen or have a look. Lots of really great stuff on Netflix about the lost colony of Roanoke.
Yeah, it just disappeared in the woods.
Do you have one in particular that you really like as far as Roanoke before we move on?
I don't actually. I just love that story in the sense that it's one of the oldest American unsolved mysteries that we have, and obviously we have an affinity for unsolved mysteries. There's TV shows about it, but it's just like one of our like oldest folktales. It was like that's our history.
Yeah.
You have like in European countries, there's thousands and tens of thousands of years of history, and America is a fairly young state, and part of our history is Roanoke, and it's just something that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, but those who do, it's fantastic. It's a crazy story. This whole settlement just up and disappeared.
And there are theories that they may have moved across a body of water to a different location that was a little more feasible to sustain life.
Yep.
Or they could have potentially just been mauled by the wildlife. Or
there was also signs of weird pagan rituals in that place when the group came in to look for them. There were signs of distress. The cabins were all like so it looked like whatever happened didn't happen peacefully. It wasn't like they just said, "Hey, we're all moving." It was like something happened that caused them to move or vanish or die.
Well, let's not give too much more away. Let's let the audience.
All right. I agree.
Let's let the audience of the Bad Boys of Pop podcast and of your podcast, which I will
corner Memoirs of the Service Industry.
I'll scroll it again. All the corner podcast fans, you guys check out the lost colony of Roanoke, because if they didn't get lost, you wouldn't have been found. That doesn't make any sense at all. But let's move on to where are we going? Question number 5? Am I 4? Okay, so I'm 5 for 5.
You're 5 for 5.
5 for 5. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing better than I thought it was. Question number 6.
Okay, this is an easy one.
Okay.
I expect you to get this right away. What light marked someone's first time singing?
Oh, the Virgin light?
Correct.
That's it. The Virgin light. I thought that I was going to have to go deeper into that. I'm thinking like,
no, I told you
it was the virgin flashing Virgin light.
All right, I'll give you a follow-up bonus question.
I'm just giving myself applause twice. Sorry.
I saw that. I'll give you a follow-up bonus question because I don't think you would have known this. That's why I took it out, because I don't think you spent much time in the DJ booth. I think you did a little bit, but not a lot.
Only after everyone left. I would just sleep in there. So
yeah.
And I would cuddle with the rats. They would bring me pretzels. I loved it. It was amazing.
Yeah. You might have heard it, though. You might have heard Sal cry out for this. What was the one thing Sal cried out for? What light did he cry out for all the time? If the song was like an upbeat song, what did he always want?
Disco lights?
Close. It was a helicopter. He had a helicopter. The helicopter.
Okay.
It was a spinning light, and he would just go, helicopter, helicopter. Like all the time. It was just the bane of my existence was that fucking helicopter light. Because here I am trying to be artistic with the cameras and trying to set a mood.
And now the lighting ruins everything.
Okay, so for example, is like like White Snakes, Here I Go Again on My Own. It starts slow. but he knows that's a fast song. So in the slow part, I'm keeping the helicopter light off because I'm trying to set a mood. It's a slow part, and when it kicks in and the beat drops, so to speak, I turned on the helicopter light. But he would just hear it and he go, helicopter. And I'm like, I know. Give me a sec. He's like, helicopter, put it on. I'm like, fuck, you just ruined any like actual like showmanship of this whole, like, we're trying to entertain people and you're just ruining it. The song's not fast right now, and the light doesn't need to be. I tried too much in that job.
Sal wanted to be a director in his mind, and he was ahead of his time, and he's still ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was at some point in his time,
because had it been present time, everything should be helicopter, because stuff's freaking crazy right now. So
it's true.
I agree. I agree with Sal. I agree with Sal. Okay.
Right.
I'm doing great.
You're doing great.
I don't want to, pat myself in the back too much, but I'm doing great. I'm almost undisputed here. 6 for 6.
6 for 6.
That's impressive. Oh wait, does the final question reveal the prize?
Yes, if you get it right.
Okay.
It reveals the prize.
And you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if you changed any of your settings up, but you're breaking up just a hair.
I haven't touched anything, but good old Spectrum internet. So
I'm gonna have to look outside. Mountain Wilson might be burning down after this episode. So let's get this done quickly.
All right.
Question number 7.
All right. So, for those who are not familiar, there were a lot of props strewn about the stage. Sal would come up to people who were timid and put props on everybody.
Oh my goodness, you sound like a robot. But what you just said was, if you're not familiar with Dimples, Sal loved props. He would come up and he would put props on everybody.
All right. What was the most popular prop that Sal would put on people?
What was the most popular prop that Sal would put on people?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, hats are hats part of the. Are hats?
Those are props, but you're gonna have to get in specific with anything. So, like hats, like jackets, all those things are at play. But there's a popular one that he did, and you need to be specific with it.
Okay, the one that I wish it would be, because I really want to own this thing. The one that I really wanted to be is the Viking helmet.
That's it. That is the only popular one. He put that on everybody. That was his go-to. It lived on the tip jar. Like that was it.
I need that. I won that.
You won that.
Yes. Yes. That's gonna be. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna hang it right here from the ceiling. Now, I know I told you early on, like, look, just make up a prize for me to win, but I want this Viking helmet, if that's true.
I mean, I made it up. I don't have it, but
I went 7 for 7 on this thing.
I was impressed you went 7 for 7. It's not that I was trying to stump you at all. I just was like, it took me a good solid 30 minutes to come up with these questions, because I'm like, I don't remember much of my 20s. I was pretty much drinking all the time and having a good time, and I was making memories, but I forget details,
Carpaccio, I legit got that.
Yeah.
I need
7 for 7.
You got the pirate beard. I need you to have your beard, find that helmet.
I might just go into the party store and buy you one, because I was impressed that you went 7 for 7. You deserve to have this Viking helmet now.
That helmet, yes, we got to talk to Sal. That helmet has to be here. That helmet that was worn by Brittany, by President Obama. That was worn by the Queen. That was worn by Freddie Prinze Jr. That was worn by the Prince.
Yeah.
That was worn by Michael Jackson. That was worn by who else? Who else was it? Eric? Princess Di. That was worn by Jay Leno. That was worn by Conan O'Brien. That was also worn by and you may not know this, but the Hunchback of Notre Dame he didn't like the way it fit, but he wore it as well.
Yeah. So. It was quite a popular hat.
It was, and I need it for the studio. So let's
All right.
make it happen.
So bonus question.
Bonus question.
Bonus question.
Bonus question.
Because the reason I didn't pick this as a question because there is multiple answers to this question that are acceptable.
Okay.
What was the song that we played at the end of the night? And depending on what era you want to talk to, it's a different song. But when you think of the song that we played every night at the end of the night? Oh, an even better question. Let's get that one. But a follow-up is, what was the closing song at the end of the night? So there's two. So what was the song that we played? The last karaoke song that we played every night. And then what was the closing song every night?
Wait, the last song that people would sing?
Yep, that's one. And the second one is what song that was played right after that
for people to leave.
Correct.
Okay. At the end of the night, in Dimples, in Burbank, California, the very last song of the night was usually performed by women.
It was always performed by women. It was all the women come up to the stage. Every woman in the bar had to come up and sing. He would drag them too.
And the name of that song was Lady Marmalade.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Can you name two others? Because did.
I'm gonna double nailing this bonus.
Yeah.
Which means that I for sure need the Viking.
We'll find you one, yeah, because I don't have the actual one, but I'll find you one.
We got to make that work. We got to find Sal, go to his house. Look, if we have to film us going to his house and stealing that helmet, we're doing it.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so that was the final song.
Yep.
And then now you're looking for the song that played as people were dispersing?
Yes, but first, can you name two other end of the night karaoke songs? Because he had two others. And again, there's a transitional period of like what was popular, but can you name, when you and I first started working, what was the song that first played?
Well, Lady Marmalade was always the one with the girls.
Before Lady Marmalade, there was another one that was very specific.
I Touched Myself?
No. I mean, that was every now and then, but that was more like during the night when he'd bring girls up. But
what are you looking for here?
So it was Fame. Fame was the song before Lady Marmalade. It was Fame. Right.
So like the last singers would do these, right?
Yeah. And then it was Lady Marmalade.
Yeah.
And then it was a song by the Pussycat Dolls that I'm blanking on at the moment. But that was the transition based on what was popular at the time. So Fame was probably played for like 15 years. Then Lady Marmalade came out and he saw, oh, that's a girl song and everyone's saying it. So he put that out. And then the Pussycat Dolls came out shortly thereafter. And he's like, let's play Pussycat Dolls.
Give me a second and I'll just look up what I think that might be for the Pussycat Dolls. Was it Don't Ya?
No, I don't think it was Don't Ya.
Really?
I don't think it was that one.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I'm bad with names.
Never was hot like me.
No, I don't think it was that one.
Okay, then I think you're making this up because that was their biggest song.
Yeah, keep in mind, he wanted the girls to be all like, dancing and sexy.
They have a song called What You Think About That, which actually was a title of one of my songs. I might have stolen that. Was it Buttons?
No.
Loosen up my buttons.
It might have been Don't Ya, but I mean, I don't know. I just think it was. I was thinking it was something else. It just doesn't sound right in my head, in the way I'm remembering it. But
I think it's Don't Ya. I think either that or you're making this up. Anyway,
okay.
The other song you're looking for, my friend.
Yes.
And I'll let this take us out as well. Hey, drink up, all you people.
Yes.
Order anything you please. What's messed up about that is like it's saying order anything you please, but you're saying get the F out.
Right? Get out. Yeah.
So you can't order anything. You're done. You
done.
Pay that tab and
pay a tab. Get out of here. Yeah, good old Frank Sinatra playing us all out every night.
And then, do you remember what the very last song was once he finished? Like once the money was counted.
Honestly, I don't, because it was just
like we would listen to Frank as people left, and then Frank until the drawers were counted and the new bottles were brought in and everyone was set for the next day.
Yeah. I was just, I'd usually put headphones on at a certain point in the evening as I was counting money and just kind of like, you know.
I won't reveal that either. We'll save that for some comments from our Dimples family. We'll let them get involved and have some fun. But the Viking horns, those are mine.
You won them fair and square. Did you went 7 for 7 plus some bonus questions. Quite impressed.
Plus both bonus questions, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you tried to like A, B, C, and then D the bonus question. Like you were going hard, bro.
I was trying to make it difficult, but to be honest, I didn't want to get too specific. I didn't want to be too inside baseball for the listening audience. I wanted to be like things that if people went to Dimples,
yes,
I didn't want to say like inside stuff like who dated who or like what. That was like people only we who worked there would have known.
Fair enough.
I wanted to be like general questions about Dimples for the listening audience. If they were like, oh, I remember it was the Virgin Lake because I was a virgin once and I went there.
And those that stood outside after we closed, whether they were drunk or just smoking a cigarette or just waiting for their Uber, like in the future, they're just like waiting for years and years for that Uber to arrive. Or, oh my gosh, so many stories about cabs that never came to get. We won't go there right now. Maybe we'll come back to the corner podcast for that. But for those that were outside, they could hear all the songs we played as we were closing up. And many times people would meet us outside.
Yeah.
Girlfriends, boyfriends, stalkers, and the like.
Yep.
Would just be waiting outside. So they know the answers to these things. And maybe we should discuss that on Corner on another episode where we can bring some more Dimples people in because
you know what?
I would love to do it.
Ileana, she worked at Dimples. She made a good point. Like maybe it should just be like this big, I've been doing one-on-one interviews on the show, but maybe we need to do like a big group discussion and figure out a good way to
That's
to
what
get
I said.
everybody out.
Bring the whole party in. Bring a whole Dimples reunion. Kind of like Cheers, but different letters.
Yeah.
I'll be Woody.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, you were pretty much Woody back behind the bar. You were, you had like the girl bartenders, and then you were like the young, good-looking dude behind the bar, like Woody.
Gotta love it, bro. I appreciate the kudos.
You know what? We didn't bring up a lot of stuff on my podcast, but there was one story.
Low job shots.
Yeah. Do you remember Kelly who worked there behind the bar?
Old Green Eyes, of course.
Yeah. My favorite thing that I've ever seen in my entire life working in the bar industry
was Kelly shutting somebody down.
Well, she shut people down a lot, but this was my favorite thing. I was outside having a cigarette. I was a DJ. I wasn't bar back or anything.
I'm gonna full screen you for this.
Yeah. And so I'm outside and this guy comes outside and he lights up a cigarette. And all of a sudden Kelly comes out with his tab and he stiffed her on this it was a big tab. It was like $100, $200 tab or something. And he completely stiffed her and she yells at him. It's like, what was wrong with the service? He didn't leave anything. And he says some snarky shit and I forget what it was. But my favorite part is she grabs a full ashtray and just chucks it at him. And then walks back inside, and he wants to start a fight. And one of the door guys, either like Jesse or like Mike or something, just like throws him to the ground and says, "Get the hell out of here." But it was my favorite thing I've ever seen a bartender ever do. She just like wasn't having it and chucked a full on ashtray, full of butts right in his face.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, but that was who she was. She was a ball buster. She was like she was a
New Yorker. Right.
She was amazing. She was like one of my favorite people who worked there, and we didn't get along. Not that we didn't get along, like we had an issue, but she was not like, she was the outlier. She wasn't like super duper friendly with everyone that worked there. She was like, this is a job. A lot of us were like, we're our friends, and we're all working with our friends. She was not as much that. She was definitely kind of aloof a little bit, but
you gotta love that about her though.
So she was a badass.
She let her lines be drawn and said, look, I'll allow you here, and here, but don't go there. Right.
She was awesome. She let every guy have it who was inappropriate with her.
I gotta say, most of the people that we worked with the Dimples were really outstanding individuals outside of the bar. They really had so much charisma and talent and moxie, and to see that gather to see, Sal was a genius because he actually gathered these people and allowed them to be themselves within the bar. And I don't want to dig, into this in this episode in this podcast. Maybe we'll do it on yours. Maybe
Sure,
we'll
yeah.
come back and do it here. But yeah, there are definitely lots of Dimples stories to be told. So who knows? Maybe we'll do it on Corner.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
we'll
always
do it
down.
on the Bad Boys of Pop. Eric is out for Eric Stretch is out for another week. So we'll see how it goes. I think we're gonna have some karaoke world championship stuff coming up next week are the finals. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the kwcusa.com down there for the karaoke world championships USA. I'm judging that. This week we have Lucas Rossi. You know Lucas?
No.
He was in Rockstar Supernova. He won that TV show.
Oh
Rockstar.
yeah. That I knew the name was familiar, but I wasn't placing it.
Amazing singer. And he is our guest judge this week. Tomorrow, in fact, it's going to be KWC USA 4:30 Pacific live. We'll be doing the judging to cut out. We have four teams, and there are 4 singers left on each team. They're cutting one from each team to go into the very last week. So tomorrow's going to be pretty crazy. Some amazing singers there, and Lucas Rossi comes in to shake things up. So if you want to come hang out with us.
Sure, yeah.
And we'll see you then. Eric, I want to thank you so much, man, for being with us. And
It was my pleasure, my friend. This was fun.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I put you on the spot. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope our friends from Dimples enjoyed this. And let's do this again because there's so much to explore, unwrap, unpack from Dimples. We haven't even talked about the kitchen. We haven't talked about Roberto. We haven't talked about the ice machine.
I miss Roberto. Yeah.
All the random toys in the back by the ice. Like, we haven't talked about any of this stuff. So lots of stuff to unpack and discuss. But for now, my brother, I want to say thank you. I'm going to take you out of here. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And for you guys, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to come back. I see my man Garvando hopping in. Garvando, best of luck tomorrow, buddy. Love your voice. Love that you're on the team. And I hope you go through and I hope you win the whole thing. I really do. I really do. I believe you have the talent and the originality to do it. So with that said, I want to thank everyone for coming, for hanging out, for commenting. And it's thebadboysofpop.com. If you're not following the Bad Boys of Pop on Facebook, follow us, please. Love to have you week in, week out. We do 2 episodes a week. Would love to have you on YouTube. Also on Twitch, if you Twitch. Whatever. We're doing the whole thing. Come find us, follow us, and we'll see you soon. I appreciate you. I love you. Take care of each other. Times are weird. Fires are burning, both realistically, both literally and figuratively. So just remember, people are people. Let's not separate ourselves based off of stupid, simple ideals. Let's just remember we love each other as human beings. Take care of each other. And remember, we love you. Good night. Good morning. We'll see you next time.